Okay, so my first step on this one, I want to get this by itself. So what would my first step on this one be? So actually before that, we want to get -6.
On the other side.
Yeah, because we want to get what I highlighted there by itself. So 13 to the -6x equals 10. Does that make sense? That's what we do first? Okay. And that was what one of the ones on the warm-up was like. And that's why I said we're not going to do it because we're going to do it right here. So now I need to get to that exponent. What is it that I do to get to that exponent, Will?
The -6 you want to get on the other side, right?
So, but I can't do that until I do what?
The log.
The log.
13. Log 10.
Yes, we have to take the log on both sides. So I did not write a base there. I purposely did not write a base there because we want a base that's, what is the base if there's no base there? 10. We want a base of 10. Why? Do you remember? I remember. We want to use our calculator, right? That LOG button on your calculator is what base? 10. That's why we do that. Okay. So now we do that so we can now move this here. How can we move this exponent? This group back here. How can we move that exponent? Okay, what do we do next? What's our next step? We have a log rule. That's right. We have that log rule that says we can move this exponent to the front. That's why we have logs. Because we can now move this to the front. -6x times log 13 equals log 10. So we did that so we could now isolate that x. So to isolate the x, you guys know what to do next? That's right. Divide both sides by log 13. I'm going to do that in blue. So I get -6x, because these logs cancel, equals log 10 over log 13. And then what would my last step be to solve that? Divide by what?
No.
By what number? -6. That's right. Good. You want to divide both sides by the -6. Now, when we're putting that in the calculator, what I would do is put this in the calculator first, log 10 divided by log 13, find the answer, press an equals, and then divide by -6. So do that on your calculator. And we should get x is approximately equal to -0.1496. So we're rounding to the nearest 10,000. And so that's the 4th decimal place over. Questions on that? So what is my first step on number 2? Again, I want to get this 8 to the 8n by itself. So this group here, tell me what to do first on number 2. Good. We want to divide by 9. Does that make sense that we would divide by 9? Because a really common mistake on this one is students want to take the log of both sides first. But we got to get this highlighted part by itself. Okay, so we get 8 to the 8n equals 36 over 9 is 4. If that did not divide evenly, if it gave me a decimal, what I would do is I'd leave that fraction there and take the log of that, whatever that fraction was. So now, what do I do next? This group again.
Or no, you turn it into log 8.
Good. So we take the log of both sides. And so, Tristan, do you know what to do next?
No, not quite.
Oh, wait, I gotta move the 8 end.
Good. Move the 8 end to the front. 8n times log 8 equals log 4. And so we have so then what did you say the next step is, Tristan?
Divide by 8.
Divide by log 8.
Then 8.
So these cancel. We get 8n equals log 4 divided by log 8. It's not.
Not yet.
Because you have to take the log of the number first and the log of the other number.
Oh, divide by 8.
So now we want to divide by 8. And we get n is. So if you were not here yesterday, my suggestion would be to get a calculator out and do this along with while I'm doing it. And we got 0.0833. Is that making sense?
That's rust now.
Okay, I want you to do number 3 as your U try, please.
Let's go. Let's go, man. Oh, this looks like the easiest song ever, Rusty. Rusty Salmachi. You're dumb.
Coming around and checking to see how you're doing.
Come on, Rusty, get it, baby.
Number 3 on your own.
I got it. Spread positivity, man. Spread positivity. Oh, got me with that one. You make no sense. Oh, got the answer. Got it. Got it, Coney. Coney, guess what? Ooh. Ooh. That looks like a wall. Look on that. Rusty, stop laughing, bro. Wait. How do you feel Rusty laughing? Your boy Rusty. Ooh, I didn't know about that. How do you feel Thursday night? That's for sure. How you can spend this? You know the fuck it is. It's not in there. That's not in there. Alright, we good.
Yeah, bro.
What the fuck? This one, like, boom, like I got it in, you know what I mean? Like, shit, I can get more. Come on, I got it, ready? Oh. I don't know, listen to this funny about this. There's a freaking monitor on you. There's $100 calculator. You don't go to $100 plot. I need that ground. I bet. It's like 8-1 then.
What is she wants to know?
You need to go. $1 million.
I don't know. I don't have time to look at it. Derek does.
Yeah, there's no English sushi. It's different over here too. Alright. Gotta be a math teacher here for free. We get $1 million, I get to see a math teacher. Or we get $100 grand. What's your greatest year for you? What's life worth? You're taking $1 million to be an organic math teacher?
Okay, so your answer on that should be 0.1477. Questions on that before I move on to the next one?
I got 0.155.
No, I did the opposite.
Okay, so number 4. What's my first step on number 4? I'm gonna. Good, you got that. +7, +7. I'm gonna go back to the red. So we have 10 times 3 to the m plus 10 equals 87. So this group here.
Oh. Yeah, you divided by 10.
Good. So we want to get this by itself, so we want to divide by 10.
M plus 10.
So we get 3 to the m plus 10 equals 8.7. So now we're going to take the log of both sides.
Oh, we should do M plus 10.
And so, yeah, what do we do next? Good. Divide by log 3. So we get m plus 10 equals log of 8.7 over log 3. And then what would our next step be then? Subtract 10 from both sides.
Not yet.
Oh my God, I call my couch phone. How's that one point out there? How'd you get 8.7?
Just minus 10. Oh, that's negative, dummy.
So I took the 87 divided by 10.
Yeah. Oh, minus 10. Oh, my smarty pants. How about smarty pants?
Okay, so on to number 5. We're going to write this out in words. There's a reason I asked you to do this, and the reason I asked you to do this on the homework. We have a tendency to remember it better if we write it out in words. So what's my first step, Will?
You add 10.
Good. Add 10 just anywhere?
To the 85.
So just to the 85?
Yeah.
He's got the right. Add 10 to both sides. Yusuf.
Yeah, you have the right.
Okay, so we add 10 to both sides. Then Will, what do we do next?
Divide by 20. Oh no, you put the a plus 7 in front of the 20, right?
Before we do that, we need
log, and then you move the a.
Yeah, take the log of both sides. And so then,
I know.
Rustin.
I know. Okay, yes. What do we do next?
Don't you want to divide it by log or something?
So before we do that, we need to move. So once we add 10, this is what we get. And then we take the log of both sides. We have the log of 20 to the a minus 7 equals the log of 95. What would we do next after that?
I don't know.
We got to move that a minus 7. Do you know where to
Find
move
the
it?
log 20.
Yes, that's why we have logs. We have to take that exponent and move it to the front. We have a rule that says we can do that. That's why we did it. Okay, so move a minus 7 to the front of log 20. And you are multiplying. And then what would be our next step after that? Good. Divide both sides by log 20. And then can we do our last step? Right? Yes, that's it. Good. Then we're going to add that 7 to both sides. And you're going to put it in your calculator to get that answer. Okay, last one. You have some log problems on your worksheet besides exponential problems. I think you need some more work on that too, together. Anybody have any idea what our first step on this would be? We have to do one step before that. What is it, Eric? Good. So this left side, we want to make this one log. So this would be the log of 3 of x divided by x minus 5. So a very common mistake is students want to multiply all the time. So if this were a plus, we would multiply these two. Since it's a minus, that's why we're dividing. And then you know what to do next?
Yeah, you just put the 4 where the log 3 is, so it'll be log 3 power 4, and then move the x to the other side. Like the x divided by x minus 5.
So notice we have a log here, we don't have a log there.
Oh, yeah, there's no log on the other side. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I like that you're trying.
You said 3 is the base and 4 is the exponent.
Yes, so 3 to the 4th equals x over x minus 5. So we just change it from log form to exponential form. So notice there's only log on one side. That's what we have to do to solve it. So 3 to the 4th is 81. 81 equals x over x minus 5. And then I'm going to call on... Multiply both sides by? That's right, by x minus 5. And so we get 81x minus 5 times 81. 405 is x. And what would we do next? Solve that. This group up here, do you know what to do next?
I don't know.
we can do, but there's one way that would be the least amount of steps.
Subtract the 81x.
Good. What he just said is the least amount of steps. Subtract 81x from both sides. So we get negative 405 equals negative 80x. So then what that does when he did that is it brings the x's on one side and the number on the other. So you can do it another way. You could subtract, you could add 405 first and then bring the x's together. It just would be an extra step. But you could still get the same answer. And then divide by negative 80. And we're going to have to simplify that. 5 goes into both. And that would be 81 over 16. So I just took this 405 over 80 and I divided both of them by 5 to get the simplified answer. Okay, can I